Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Yamada.
And I'm Paula Akana. New taxes, cuts to benefits, all while attempting to create more local jobs.
Governor Neil Abercrombie painted a dire picture during his first State of the State address.
I'm not going to ask anybody to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself.
Now here are some of the highlights of today's address. Abercrombie plans to end the deficit by phasing out the state tax exemption on pension income, ending the deduction for state taxes, and enforcing state retirees to pay for their Medicare B premiums.
Also on the table, reducing benefits to those on welfare and Medicaid, increasing taxes on timeshare units, and a nearly 5% pay cut for public workers. The governor also wants to create a tax for sodas with sugar in them and raise taxes on alcohol for the first time in 12 years.
Abercrombie says we can no longer ignore the fact that consumption of those types of drinks contribute to rising public health costs. KITV4's Keoki Kerr spoke with shoppers tonight to find out their reactions to the proposal. Keoki?
Well, Paula, the governor says raising taxes on certain types of soda, along with beer, wine, and alcohol, would bring in about $40 million a year, which would attack an $800 million deficit the state is facing over the next 2 years. Abercrombie's proposal would create a 10-cent per can tax on sodas with sugar in them. Soda in larger containers would be assessed a 25-cent tax each. Diet sodas and other drinks without sugar in them would not be subject to the tax. People shopping at the Aina Haina Foodland tonight weren't happy with the idea.
We're balancing the budget on the backs of, consumers and those that want to have simply a soft drink in the hot sun.
I don't think that's the answer. I think there's other ways that we can try and reach the deficit, because for me, I'm a Coke drinker and I'm going to drink regular Coke and I'm not going to drink a Diet Coke, so to me it doesn't make a difference.
Others said diet sodas contain lots of chemicals and aren't necessarily better for you than sodas with sugar.
I am a pathologist, so I do have my own personal opinion about all those things, because they put other things in those drinks that I don't think they're necessarily healthier.
Taxes on alcohol, beer, and wine would increase by 50% under the governor's proposal, their first hike since 1998.
Our first reaction is, oh no.
Tim Lyons, a lobbyist for Anheuser-Busch, says his company pays 60% of the alcohol taxes in the state, and Hawaii already has the highest beer tax in the country.
If you're trying to reinvigorate the economy, one of the ways to do it is not to increase the tax, anybody's tax for that matter, and particularly this one, because it's a very price-sensitive kind of a product.
Now, the Democratic majority in the State House proposed similar measures last year for the hike in alcohol taxes as well as sodas, but they didn't really go anywhere. Those proposals never made it to the full State House for a vote and never even had a hearing over on the State Senate side. We'll have to see what happens with this proposal this year. Paula, back to you.
All right, Keoki, thank you.